All right, let's move over now to today's news analyses. The world's largest professional social network, LinkedIn, has arrived in China. It's a big, bold move for the company in one of its last remaining major markets. Now, what does that mean for China, and what are the company's expectations? Well, probably a little different from other international locations, as gleaned from the Xinhua report. Unlike predecessors, including Google, who set up their own branch companies in China, LinkedIn launched a joint venture with Sequoia Capital China and China Broadband Capital to localize its service for Chinese users. Faced with strong competition from their Chinese counterparts, few foreign internet firms have succeeded in China in the past decade. To woo Chinese users, LinkedIn incorporates Twitter-like services Sina Weibo and Tencent Weibo into its platform and allows users to bind their LinkedIn accounts with those on WeChat. That's a popular Chinese mobile app used by nearly half of the country's population. Sites such as Dajie.com and Lago.com provide similar services to professionals in China, matching their resumes with job offerings and helping them connect with others in the same industry. The Chinese are increasingly relying on the internet to find new jobs and build professional connections. Before the launch of the Chinese website, LinkedIn already had 250 million registered users worldwide, including 4 million from China, who registered on its global website. Okay, well, that's just part of the story. Now, the version of the South China Morning Post provides other more revealing differences between the Chinese version and those from other countries. A Chinese version of the service has been expected ever since the company hired Derek Shin, formerly the founder and CEO of group buying website Nuomi, as the head of its mainland-focused operations. On the Chinese desktop version of LinkedIn, users will find Sina Weibo and Tencent Weibo options to import contacts. Unlike the international version, though, Twitter and Facebook are nowhere to be found. Similarly, the groups feature and the option to self-publish articles on users' profiles are also missing, although these functions may be added in later versions of the social network. LinkedIn has had to walk a fine line between China's laws and regulations regarding user-generated content and creating a user experience equivalent to its global site. Before the Chinese version of LinkedIn was released, the latest version of social messaging app WeChat allowed users to bind their LinkedIn profiles to their accounts. Analysts say this integration into China's most widely used app may prove invaluable to LinkedIn's career in China. Here's the thing, though, LinkedIn is not just trying to penetrate any market, but a market with a long, unique, and proud history. In short, a culture that may be highly ethnocentric and a political system closely linked to that culture, as the Oriental Morning Post highlights. Scholar Fei Xiaotong wrote in his book Rural China that Chinese social relations are concentric circles based on acquaintances, which means that the closer the connections are, the more complicated they become. They're not only about work. Life and emotions are also included. For Chinese people, it's very difficult to separate professional socializing alone. LinkedIn represents the Western social model, which is separating life from work. And Western relationships are more rational than Chinese ones. Wei Wu Hui, a new media scholar from Shanghai Jiao Tong University, says that Chinese versions of LinkedIn failed because Chinese professionals don't move a lot. This is related to China's household registration system, property prices, and local policies. They have too many things to consider. And Chinese companies don't rely on the internet when recruiting too much, especially in second and third tier cities. Another challenge is the restrictions multinational internet companies have in China. Compared with Facebook, Twitter, and Google, LinkedIn is already doing a good job in China. But LinkedIn is aware that they engage in self-censorship in order to comply with China's laws and circumstances. And there, ladies and gentlemen, lies the rub.